If you're an aspiring author or a new author, I need you to take special note of today's video. Now, we have talked about this time and time again on my live streams, in my videos, in my free courses for you. We talk about this a lot. But as we're seeing even more of a rise of people coming onto social media and onto the internet and giving advice to writers, I just need you as a new person in this space to be very, very careful and be very aware of what's going on. So when it comes to taking advice from anybody in the publishing space, you have to do your research first, because anybody can jump on and say, hey, I have a plan, I have a theory, I have something you can pay money for, I have advice to give you, and it not be qualified advice. I've seen this over and over and over again. People just jumping onto TikTok lives and giving advice, or people going into their TikToks and giving advice, and these people aren't qualified. So you have to do your research no matter who it is. Whether it's Stephen King giving you information, whether it is somebody who pops up on your TikTok saying that they are a self-publishing guru who's going to be able to help you. Even if it's me, you need to be doing your research. Yes, some of us are qualified, but some of us are not. So even if you're here on this channel and you're watching these videos, if you haven't checked up on me, that's something that could potentially be dangerous to you. You should be checking up on anybody you're taking advice from. So when it comes to getting qualified advice, you need to make sure that the person that you're listening to has actually done the thing that they're talking about. So many aspiring authors will jump onto TikTok and give advice, writing advice, publishing advice, and not have books out in the world. So when it comes to, and I have held this line for a very long time, when it comes to finding who you're going to listen to, the very first thing I need you to do is see how many books they have out in the world and make sure they're successful. If a person has one book out, that could be a fluke. A second book out could also be a fluke if it's successful. But 3 published or more books out means it is a successful pattern. So make sure they've sold books. Make sure they have fans. Make sure they have reviews. Make sure they have things that they're putting out on social media. Make sure they have a following. If you are finding people who are not having these things, that's not someone who's qualified to speak to you. Sure, they might have good ideas. Maybe something worked for them once, but if they have not proven this again and again and again, 3 times or more, that's not somebody who's qualified to speak to you. And you also have to understand who's doing the work in their career. So if it's somebody who is with a traditional publisher and they're trying to give you advice for publishing, but they've only done it with a publisher who's doing most of the work, you have to take all of that with a grain of salt. If you're looking at an indie who's done all the work, they can then give you that roadmap that they've done if they've repeated it successfully. So you have to take into consideration who they are, how many times they've done this, what they've done, what they've actually put into their careers, and what other people have done for them to build up their careers before you take their advice. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking advice from someone who's a traditionally published author. You absolutely can, but you have to then go further down the path of making sure they're qualified before you're listening to them, or listening to them without doing extra research. But I said before, you should be checking on everyone. I am somebody who has published many times over, and I've been teaching in this space for a really long time. I've been working with publishers and authors well before my career of many years. Even so, if you have not gone and looked me up to make sure that I align with the success that you want, if you don't see me doing the things that you want to do, you need to make sure you're finding people who are also backing up what I say. Now, just because you look at me and you say, well, I want to do something differently than Cam is doing it, doesn't mean you can't take advice from someone like me. It just means you have to make sure that you're backing that up with other people. So when I teach, I am teaching really great stuff that other authors will also back up. And if they're backing it up, that's something you should be listening to. I also teach very innovative ways of doing things. That doesn't necessarily mean if you can't find somebody to back that up that it's not right, but it means you have to do your research. But time and time again, especially right now in this time on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on live streams, on the social platforms, we're just seeing people pop up and have their name as some sort of publishing guru or expert, someone that can give you a roadmap. And these people will oftentimes pitch you for courses. They'll pitch you for paid mentorships. They will pitch you for things that they want you to pay for. And if they get in trouble for something, they'll just change their name and they'll keep popping up. I keep seeing certain people pop up again and again and again. And I know just from a simple Google search of their name and the word scam, that they are scam artists, that they are doing this again and again and again. There's certain people that keep popping up that just, they have so many people who have worked with them come forward to say, this is what's happened, this is my experience, here's how they took my money, they didn't deliver what they were going to, they are bad-mouthing me, they're trying to ruin my careers, all of these things. And when you see multiple people doing that, you need to start investigating before you listen to that person. And I'm seeing so many people pop up and just keep popping up in different ways, in different shapes, and different formats to get you to pay them to help you on your publishing journey. So what this all boils down to is that when you're taking advice from Stephen King, from me, from someone on TikTok, from someone that you see that is popular, from someone that is interesting, you have to do your research. You have to make sure that they have done the thing, they have backed up the thing, they have repeated the thing and been successful through this. Because if they haven't, they are not qualified to teach you yet. They might in the future, but not right now. And I want you to be safe and protected in this space. So whatever information you are taking in, you need to do your research and back that up, because I am seeing so many bad pieces of information that will actually be detrimental, not only to the story you're writing, but to your entire career. And I don't want that for you. I want the good things for you, the best for you, because when you succeed, I succeed, and we all succeed together. We build up this industry and we all grow, and we can all be profitable, and we can all be successful, and we can all put our books out, but we have to do it together. And so if you have a question on somebody who is speaking, who is teaching, please feel free to confidentially DM me or email me. I will not rat you out. I'm not going to badmouth anybody, but I am going to look at things and say, hey, this might be a little bit of a red flag. This is a little concerning to me. I probably wouldn't take this person's advice, or this is good qualified advice. I back this, or I know this person and I trust this person, or I am investigating them and I've seen they've done this again and again and again. So even if it's not something I know too much about, or something that I teach on, or something that I can stamp my approval on, I can say it looks like they've done their due diligence. They have done this successfully. They might be worth looking into. So I will happily help handhold you through this process to make sure you're getting valuable information. And please keep in mind, with so much in the publishing industry, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of free videos on YouTube, free courses out there. 99.9999% of the things that I do in the publishing space is totally free. In fact, I don't even remember the last time I got paid for teaching things in the publishing space. I make my money other ways. And so all of this is here to help you for free. For the most part, there's very, very little you should be paying for to learn in this industry, because we're all out there teaching you. Are there a couple of exceptions to this? Yes. And if you've got questions on those, go ahead and drop those down below. There are certain things like learning how to run ads. If it's a qualified person, I totally stand by some of those things. I used to teach some of those things. I work with some really cool people who do that, but a lot of it, you just don't need to pay for. There's a lot of people who profit off of authors in this industry rather than their books. And that truly, if someone is making their money off of teaching authors instead of their books, for me, that's a really big red flag. So just be careful. Just be careful. Just watch what you're doing. Pay attention and make sure that people have actually done the thing they're claiming to do and have repeated it multiple times for themselves. Better yet, if they're trying to pitch you something, they've also repeated this process for multiple clients. Questions, if you have them, please drop them down below, and please stay safe in this industry. It is such an easy target. This industry is such an easy target. People are so excited to be in the publishing space. People are so desperate to be in the publishing space that oftentimes it's very easy to scam them. It is very easy for them to jump in because they see somebody's face on TikTok a lot and just say, yeah, that's the one. So please be careful. Please be careful in this space and drop your questions, because I know there's a lot, and I've just repeated myself quite a bit in this video saying to be careful, to watch out. But if you have questions on this, please drop those down below. If you're seeing things, please drop it down below. I want to be here to support you, and the community wants to be here to support you, because we, as authors, truly want you in this space. Truly want you in this space. And we will help you. We do not want you down a deep, dark rabbit hole of just nonsense that people are spewing out on the internet these days. I love you all. Please do your due diligence before you get yourself into a bad situation in the publishing space, because it is so easy to do so. It is so incredibly easy to fall into these traps. And it's so simple just to Google their name and scam and see what comes up. Okay, we have full playlists on navigating the world of publishing. We have full playlists on marketing and all of the things that you need here on the channel. Please check them out. Please go through them. If you have questions on those things, I am here for you. And so are my people. All the guests we have on the show, those people are going to be here for you. We want to support you and we want to help you grow. And that is my final plea in this episode. But I will see you in the upcoming episodes. We're dropping daily for free right here with education to help make this your most profitable author year ever without the time commitment, the stress, the overwhelm, and the potential scamming in this industry. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.